If you ain't getting no money, nigga, you a fucking bum. Pull up with a Draco, 100 rounds and a drum. I don't give a fuck about who you is or where you from.
What's up, people? It's your boy Derr, Derr, back at again with another video. Before we get started, if you want to join the Dragon fam, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video, and smash that like button to help your boy out as we win a quest to 400 subscribers. So as you see in the title, we're going to be talking about my 2023 NBA mock draft. I wanted to make this video after the NBA combine was concluded to see if there was any shifts in people's mock drafts. The NBA lottery selection show was a couple weeks ago. The San Antonio Spurs ended up with the #1 overall pick. The Orlando Magic have 2 lottery picks. So everybody in their mama knows Victor Wembenyama was going #1 overall. We just need to know what team would have the first pick. The San Antonio Spurs successfully tanked for Victor. Now the Spurs can enjoy their next generational talent. I think there is 3 players in the draft is the most NBA ready, and that is Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, and Scoot Henderson. With Victor, of course, he has the size at 7'2". He can score on all 3 levels at a high efficiency. He is an elite shot blocker. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a player to join the league in my lifetime since LeBron. A lot of people say Zion, but my concerns for him is currently happening, so that's why I wasn't so high on him. I can't wait to see Victor's first summer league game because I want to see him playing against better players. Next, we got Brandon Miller out of Alabama. He probably got the best mid-range game out of all the prospects. He can score on all 3 levels at a high clip. He also showed glimpses that he can be a solid defender. I can't wait for him to grow more into his frame because I think he can use his size and strength at his advantage. The player I think he reminds me of is Paul George. Their game is very similar, especially with the type of shots they take and the way they defend. And last but not least, we got Scoot Henderson. He is definitely the best guard in the draft. People had him as high as second in the draft before Brandon Miller burst onto the scene, but whoever selects him is going to be a lucky team. His play reminds me of Russell Westbrook, his motor and his tenaciousness to attack the rim. He is a big and strong guard, and he can definitely use that at his advantage. He can score on all 3 levels. I would like him to work on his 3-point shot because that's really going to separate him from the rest. I'm going to read out and analyze what NBA DraftNet said in their mock drafts. With the 10th pick, they have the Dallas Mavericks selecting Dereck Lively from Duke. The Mavs really do need a big bass, so I'm not shocked with this pick whatsoever. Dereck had a solid season for the Blue Devils this past season. He averaged 5.2 blocks, 5.4 rebounds, along with 2.4 blocks. You're not really getting any offense from him. I think they're drafting him strictly because of his defense. He's an elite rim protector, and Dallas needs that bad. But I can also see Dallas trade this pick if they get a big during free agency period, but we'll see. With the 9th pick, they have the Utah Jazz selecting Grady Dick out of Kansas. This will be a solid pickup for the Jazz. They need a guard bad because they're extremely weak at that position. Grady is an elite shooter from 3. He's also showed that he can be a good defender as well. The 8th pick, they got the Washington Wizards selecting Thompson out of Overtime Elite. I'm not really a fan of this pick. I really think they need a point guard. A shooting guard wouldn't hurt, but I think the Wizards need a pure point guard, not another shooting guard. But Thompson is a solid player. He's a good shooter from 3. His size and length is good for him as a defender, but I would like the Wizards to pick a point guard out of this pick. The 7th pick, they got the Indiana Pacers selecting Jarris Walker out of Houston. This will be a great pickup for them. The Pacers do need another wing player bad to go along with this guard heavy team. Walker is a solid defender and rebounder. He has a nice touch to his shot around the rim. He can definitely improve his range to be a more polished player. The 6th pick, they have the Orlando Magic selecting Anthony Black out of Arkansas. I think he is the 2nd best guard in this draft. He can score on all 3 levels at a high clip. He plays at his own pace. He knows how to push the ball or slow it down when needed. He is a solid defender. He knows how to get into passing lanes to create turnovers. This will be a solid pickup for the Magic. The 5th pick, they have the Detroit Pistons selecting Cam Whitmore out of Villanova. I didn't see his name get as high as top 5 until recently, so I think Cam Whitmore had a solid combine. I like this pick from Detroit after losing Saddiq Bey. They definitely need another solid wing defender that can score. I think Cam is the best perimeter defender in this draft. He is a good finisher around the rim as well. The 4th pick, they got the Houston Rockets selecting Thompson out of Overtime Elite. He's an elite facilitator. My biggest concern for him is his jump shot. I hope he can get his shot mechanics together during his first couple seasons. The 3rd pick, they got the Portland Trailblazers selecting Scoot Henderson out of G League Unite. I like this pick for Portland because we don't know what they're going to do with Dame, so getting a guard would be necessary, especially if Dame ends up leaving. Like I said before, he is very explosive and can finish around the rim. I would like for him to improve his 3-point shot. 2nd pick, they got the Charlotte Hornets selecting Brandon Miller out of Alabama. I know everybody loved fan favorite Victor Wembenyama, but Brandon Miller is my favorite prospect in this year's draft. Like I said before, he has the best mid-range game in the draft. He knows how to get to his spots effectively. This will be a great pickup for Charlotte because I don't know what they're going to do with Miles Bridges. Then of course the number overall pick, they got the San Antonio Spurs selecting Victor Wembanyama out of France. There's really nothing to be said about him. We know he's going to be a generational talent. I do got concerns about him, but we can discuss that in a future video. These are players I will be on the lookout for. Keontae George out of Baylor, Jalen Hood-Schifino out of Indiana, Nick Smith out of Arkansas, G.G. Jackson out of South Carolina, and lastly, Emoni Bates out of Eastern Michigan. Well, that's the end of this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below. Give me your top 5 or top 10 picks in this year's draft. Who do you think is going to be underrated in this draft? Who you got high hopes for? Who do you think is going to be a bust? Let me know. Also, don't forget to tune into my podcast with my guy Benny Go. It's called Kachow Podcast, and we will try to have an episode out every week, so stay tuned for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Go follow me on all my social medias, and that's the end of this video. Peace out.